What is up, everyone? Alex Savas here with MMAfighting.com. Joining me, you all know him, Jose Youngs, talking about a very, started out very exciting night of fights.
A phenomenal night of fights.
2 title fights, both champions retain their titles. Let's start with the main event.
It happened.
It happened. Wasn't the fight everyone wanted or expected, I think, but we heard from both fighters. What did you make of it?
Well, Israel Adesanya, of course, successfully defended his middleweight crown against Yoel Romero. I think you hit it on the head. It's not what anyone expects. It's not what Israel Adesanya expected. He really thought Yoel Romero was going to bring the fight, considering he said this is the fighter that all the casuals, all the fans, all the pundits said was the one that could beat him. He was the boogeyman of the division. Robert Whittaker's like, it's like kicking concrete. Luke Rockhold's like, oh, his body's made of steel. Paulo Costa's like, oh, I'm still not. My body was all banged up after fighting him. And Israel Adesanya fought him like it happened, but like it's 25 minutes. Dana White was not very complimentary of the fight. Put most of the blame on Yoel Romero for basically just standing there. There was like the first 30, 45 seconds of the fight. He literally just like stood there with his hands up like this. Didn't even move. It wasn't even like shifting his weight. Just stood there. Israel looked confused. Not confused, but it was like I'm gonna find an opening, and ate one massive overhand in the first round when he tried to press the attack, and he like it messed him up. He's like, I'm not doing that anymore. And then he's like, from that point on, I just picked him apart, jabbed him, leg kicked him, and just kept circling around, stuffing the takedowns. And Yoel Romero said, I can't fight a ghost, I can't fight a shadow. Every time I went after him, he disappeared. Don't agree with that at all. It was a tactical fight for Israel Adesanya. So it was a smart fight for Israel Adesanya. He brought the fight. Yoel Romero just didn't capitalize on what he brought to the table. So, as you said, not the fight anyone expected, including both men. But we were talking before, and you even said, like, they're saying the same thing.
Right. Come at me. And then when they do, you get touched, and that is the fighting game, though. Like, you gotta push forward. You might get tagged, but like, you gotta kind of keep pushing forward, I guess.
As Greg Jackson says, minimize risk, and Israel Adesanya minimized risk outside of that one punch. He admits, he's like, I ate one huge punch, and after that, I was like, not doing that anymore. So he minimized risk and pulled off the decision. I scored it for Israel Adesanya. Most of our audience on YouTube scored it for Israel Adesanya, but Yoel Romero seems to disagree.
Well, he would.
Well, he did say, like, no one won. He won technically, but no one won. I lost. The fans lost. Dana White lost. I didn't agree with his comments afterward. He was like, that's the champion you want? Like, Anderson Silva was bringing people to their feet at the age of 30, which he wasn't, by the way. That's another conversation. But Dana White's point of Israel Adesanya saying, like, he fights to his opponent, like, I tend to agree with it a little bit. Even Izzy tended to agree with it, but I don't think that's fully accurate. He just had nothing to work with.
And if that's true, that's probably true of everyone. That's just kind of what naturally happens in a fight. That's not unique to Adesanya.
Right, and like, what do you want from the champion? Like, Robert Whittaker went out on his back, and people were praising him, but he's like still hasn't fought. He was pretty beaten up, pretty bad. He retained against Yoel Romero for 25 minutes,
right,
and his body still hasn't recovered. And then you see, and he's praised and heaped praised on. Israel Adesanya just kind of picks him apart in a chess game, and you guys boo him. Like, what do you want? You want a guy that just destroys body, or do you want a champion that just puts on not a masterclass, but like he puts together a good game plan, sticks to it, and wins? Like, what do you want?
We want both, okay? We want it all.
Well, you can't get everything you want, Alex.
We can get everything we want. In the co-main event, Zhang Weili.
Transitions.
Hey-o. Fight of the year contender, no doubt. I mean, this didn't stop from start to finish. I mean, people say it feels like one 25-minute long
100%.
round. I mean, now what? Where do we go from this? Because I don't think anything's going to come close to this for a while.
I haven't recovered myself from this. Like, I was sitting octagon side, and I watched the first round. Was the pace that they put on from the opening bell was unbelievable. And I was like, I don't think they can keep this up for 20. Oh, I knew Joanna could, but like, as we said in the preview show when I was with Sean, I was like, there's questions about Zhang Weili's gas tank only because we haven't seen it. For all we know, she could have a phenomenal gas tank and could go 40 minutes. We just don't know. She proved it. She put all questions aside. Not only did she go 25 minutes, she kept up literally blow for blow.
Right.
They would throw like she would throw a punch, and Joanna and Jedrzejczyk would like counter with like a hook, and then she would counter that hook with like a kick. I know I called Israel Adesanya Yoel Romero a chess match, but that was more of like a strategy game. The Joanna and Jedrzejczyk and Zhang Weili had a violent chess game where they would just not stop attack. It was the opposite. They would just attack. Not only is that my fight of the year, that's one of the best fights I've ever seen.
Hands down.
Period. Tonight we saw John Jones-Gustafsson. That fight's going in the Hall of Fame. This fight is going in the Hall of Fame. I gave up scoring after the second round.
Right.
Zhang Weili defended her title. She's going to be a megastar. Joanna and Jedrzejczyk is still a megastar. That's one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. It is hands down the greatest women's fight I've ever seen. So props to the ladies on this card because you really pulled it out and saved this card from these two title fights.
All right, well, let's move on to some of the other highlights of the night. Sugar Sean O'Malley making his return after almost 2 years on hiatus and comes back with a freaking stellar performance.
Stellar would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He pitched a perfect game. Jose Quinones had nothing for Sugar Sean. And we spoke to him at Media Day, and he's like, and Sugar Sean was like, I just know. He had this thing where Israel Adesanya and Conor and all these like big stars were like, I know what I'm going to do. I envision it, and I'm not even nervous about it. Like, I just know it's going to happen. And he pitched a perfect game. Said he put on like 10 pounds. He goes, me with 10 extra pounds with the same skill set. That's terrifying. So destroyed Jose Quinones in one round. Said he wants to be on another card, maybe International Fight Week. And I was like, well, what if you get like an ESPN card that you could hit on? And he kind of looked like he hadn't thought about that. He goes, I could do that. So maybe one more fight, and then we could get a Sean O'Malley ESPN card. But he's still undefeated. He's going to be a big star in the UFC.
He's got the star power.
He 100% is the star power.
The difference between a star power
literally
and just,
stars on his
and
face
just a great fighter. I mean, he's a brand. Like, he will be branded.
He will be a brand.
Look at like Conor McGregor. He's turned his whole shtick into a brand. This has that same feel to me.
The Sugar Show is going to be alive and well for a long time in the UFC.
Good for him. I'm here for it. All right, moving on. Let's see.
And we got Neil Magny returned. Li Jinliang. He looks phenomenal. Pieced him up in his first fight. Another USADA guy coming back.
Darius.
That fight was so good. Beneil Darius got his performance bonus. And Casey and I were speaking off camera, our cameraman behind the scenes right here, that Darius is in this weird spot where he had that run early in his career, but he was beating guys like on his level, but then he gets to like the Chiesas and the Barbosas, and he just gets they run through him like violently, or they submit him, and like we really didn't know what kind of fighter Darius was. He comes up against Jakar Klose in a fight where Jakar Klose is on a win streak. He's young, he's hungry, he's powerful. He has a great team and fight ready, and he rocks Darius, and he goes in for the kill, and Darius just sock him, robot knocks him out. So he. Married too, right? He just got married.
He got married. He said he's going to take his wife on a honeymoon because he went straight to fight camp right after their wedding. So have fun on their honeymoon.
It was a $50,000 richer honeymoon. Got that performance bonus. So Beneil Darius is, good lord,
sitting
man,
pretty,
like, sitting real pretty.
All right, so we know what's next for Adesanya, and that's Paulo Costa, as long as everything goes according to plan.
As long as it's the UFC, anything can happen.
What's next for Weili? Winner of Rose Andrade?
It's rough. Jessica Andrade and Rose Namajunas rematch in UFC 249. I would love to see Rose Namajunas and Zhang Weili throw down. Rose has to beat Jessica Andrade first, and Rose didn't turn down that fight in the first place, so... Tatiana Suarez is out there. I know you're a big Tatiana Suarez fan, so I would love. She's gotten all these striking matchups that Zhang Weili. I would love to see her fight someone with like not just wrestling ability, but elite wrestling.
Absolutely.
Like Tatiana. So pick them. That's what I say.
I'm into it. All right, guys. There you have it. UFC 248 is over. Let us know what you think in the comments. And for that, I'm Alex Savas. That's Jose Youngs. As he says, we're out.